Hey, what's going on, everybody? Andrew Dawson here with Operation for Freedom. I want to talk about the spectrum of human trafficking today. We always look at it as a linear process, but actually human trafficking happens on a spectrum. That's what we're talking about today. We're going to break it down. Check it out. Okay, so let's jump into this quick video. I want to break this down. This is a question that we get a lot of times in our trainings, and it's one of those light bulb moments that happen where people are brought into the know. They realize that this is different than what they thought it looked like. And the biggest myth or biggest misconception when it comes to human trafficking is that it's a linear process. Step one, they're walking in the parking lot of a Walmart. Step two, a van pulls up. Step three, they get abducted. And that is not the case. Spectrum is key here when it comes to human trafficking, not linear. So if we look at human trafficking in the light of these three words, acts, means, and purpose, and take a look at this. Act, means, and purpose. This is how we look at human trafficking on a nonlinear scale and identify it for really how it is. It's less of a 1, 2, 3 process, and it's more of a maze. It's more of a circle. It's just this conglomerate. It's a big container where everything's kind of mixed in and touches and moves around versus this step one, step two, step three process. And so if we look at act, means, and purpose, it helps us to understand the spectrum. And on the bottom of the slide here, you can see I wrote, identify human trafficking through the spectrum. Stripping and being prostituted are on opposite ends of the spectrum. And so those are 2 points where an individual can be on the trafficking side of things, but they're on opposite sides. You may say, well, if they're stripping, they're not being trafficked. Well, they could be offering sex acts in the back in the champagne room. You know, there could be things going on, but it's different sides of this maze and different entrances. And so when we look at act, means, and purpose, it helps us to kind of break this down and look at this more non-linear. So if we looked at act, that's typically the act of the actual sex act. This is how it's being done in this machine of human trafficking. So we've got strip club, massage parlor. This is where the actual sex acts could be happening, in legal brothel work, or what act they're performing in any specific situation where it's happening. So this is important to know where the act is happening and how it's structured and the business aspect of it. And then we look at the means is are they doing it themselves? Are others involved? Is it online only? And then how do they, basically the question is, how do they accomplish this act? What is the means in which they're accomplishing the strip club, the massage parlor, the legal brothel work? How is this actually happening? And then we have to move over to purpose. And so this is where we look at, is it of their own free will? So if they're doing it themselves, it's probably maybe their own free will. Maybe this is a choice they made because they have no other choice. And we always say that prostitution is a choice for those who have no choice. And we look at the purpose and we go, is this something that they're being controlled through? Is it personal gain, from a controller? Is a controller involved in this? And are they working off debt? Maybe they're, an illegal immigrant and they're working off debt because of the smuggling that happened to get them into the United States. This is how we identify the spectrum of human trafficking. And I think this is important to shift our paradigm and look at trafficking from a new way, and to look at it, instead of looking at it as this 1 step, 2 step, 3 process, we've got to look at it and say there's many roads, there's many spokes to the wheel when it comes to trafficking. And as we break it down through act, means, and purpose, we can begin to identify it for what it is in whatever case we're working or whatever victim we're working with. That's the information today, guys. Hope it was valuable. Hope it makes sense. We'll see you on the next video.